Everybody disagrees with me, and everybody's wrong. That's what I think. And I'll explain it, and I will fight it every single fucking time. Just like I did 9 months ago whenever I wrote a fucking essay on Reddit, and then the person came back, and they explained themselves, and they were an absolute belligerent fucking idiot. Because nothing they said made any sense at all. Because these people, as soon as you actually ask them, what are you really thinking? They don't even know. All they know is that they don't like the game. People are disagreeing with you on Overwatch because there's a strong argument that Overwatch 2 was worse for original Overwatch 1 players. Yeah, I just don't think that's like a healthy thing for a game to do. I don't think that it's healthy for a game to, you know, maintain a system that they feel like isn't a good idea for the long term of the development of a game. Just because like the people that bought the game in like 2017 or whenever the shit came out, 2018, you know, they would prefer it that way. Like, you know, developers have to make decisions that are, you know, for like the future health of the game. So yeah, anyway, I guess we're gonna get into this. I don't want to spend like an hour talking about this. I probably will, but I don't want to. Obviously, yesterday I was talking a lot about Overwatch and Overwatch 2 and how I think that a lot of the criticism for Overwatch 2 is, what's the word for it? Unwarranted. A lot of people were angry about this. People on YouTube. I got people tweeting at me. There's people that are writing essays on my Reddit. Now, guys, I'm going to read a few people's feedback and I'm going to respond to it and then we're going to move on, okay? Overall, I skimmed through some of this stuff. I don't think that there's any credibility to it. I think that I'm still right, but we're going to read it and I'm going to give it an honest perspective. So my argument was that the Overwatch 2 is an improvement over Overwatch 1. The reason why I think that is because it no longer utilizes a system that I view to be predatory, which is loot boxes. And categorically, a game that does not use loot boxes, I think is better than a game that does. Period. It doesn't matter if it's more fun for you. That doesn't have anything to do with it, in my mind. It doesn't matter if you buy them or not. They wouldn't be in the store if people didn't buy them. Loot boxes were free. They were free. But the game cost money. And I can understand. So, and this is very important that I have to make this very clear. I can understand somebody saying that Overwatch 1 was a better experience for them and they liked the game more. I think that's fair. But I don't think that it's fair for you to say that Overwatch 1 was fundamentally better. Because I think that like microtransaction shit and gambling mechanics in games are more important than all of the other problems that Overwatch 2 has put together. This is a plague on gaming. It has been for years. I've been spreading that plague. I'm not sorry. I'm going to keep doing it too if it's interesting or entertaining to the audience. But it is a plague. And the Blizzard got rid of the loot boxes, and I thought that was a huge W. I was happy about that. So I'm going to read a few of the comments that people made, and I'm going to respond to them, and then I have some other videos I want to look at. Then we're going to start and play some Final Fantasy 16. You're taking a black and white stance with loot boxes, Asmon? Yeah, I am. If they're in a game, it's bad. If you can buy them in a game, it's bad. So anyway, let's read this. Spoken to sub. Okay, Valorant 2 has 2 ways to get a character. Here we go. Buying it with real money or buying it with in-game currency that you earn from grinding. The Battle Pass only has cosmetic items and is entirely optional content. League also has a similar setup. Both of these games require you to lock in a character before the match begins. They also started as and always have been free-to-play games. Okay? Alright. Overwatch 2 started as a buy-to-play game where all the characters were given to you for free from the get-go. No, they weren't. You had to buy the game. So they weren't given to you for free because you had to buy the game. It's just, how is it a buy-to-play game but the characters were given to you by free? That's just not how it works. Question mark? That's what he's saying? He said buy to play? Yeah. You know what he means? You don't think this is contradictory? To say that everything was given to you for free whenever you buy the game? I think it's contradictory. Because a purchase is required to unlock the access to the characters. And also, you can unlock the characters, you can unlock every single character in Overwatch from the free battle pass, right? Can you do that or not? Yes. Okay, so you can theoretically play Overwatch 2 without spending any money and unlock every character. Purchase was necessary to play the game at all. All post-release characters were free. Yes. All the characters beyond that were given to you for free. However, whenever you buy the game, obviously they are not really given to you for free. They are given to you after you buy the game. So I think that is important to keep in mind. It's structured in a way to... The reason why I don't like this is that it's language that's structured in a way to imply that the players got the characters for nothing, which is not true. You did have to purchase the game. Let's go back and look at the rest of this. The game was then balanced and constructed around the idea of swapping characters throughout the match to counter an enemy team. Overwatch had loot boxes, sure. Loot boxes are unethical, sure. But at least you can earn them for free and only get skins and not characters. Well, you can't get characters from Overwatch 2 from loot boxes. The only way that you can get characters from Overwatch 2 is by buying them, I believe, or completing battle passes or challenges. Is that correct? Yes, okay, so it's not like this was changed. It's not like not characters, this was not happening in Overwatch 2. Then it switched to free-to-play, and suddenly you no longer get all the characters anymore. I think that it's fair for somebody who bought Overwatch 1 to be frustrated about that and to be upset about it. But I don't think that it's realistic for you to expect Blizzard to maintain this type of game indefinitely without having a way to monetize it regularly. Like, I don't think that's realistic to expect to happen. Now, should Blizzard have kept up Overwatch 1 servers for the people that wanted to stay around? Sure. Yeah, I think that would be better, and it would have been an improvement. And I'm not saying Blizzard handled this very well. I'm just saying it's not as bad as it was. Finish reading first. Well, what do you think I'm going to read? It's like, I mean, I'm responding to it as I'm reading it. You're now required to A, purchase a battle pass, or B, grind the battle pass, which makes the battle pass not optional anymore. Because Overwatch 2 works around character swapping. If the new character counters the enemy and you do not have the new character because you haven't given Blizzard your money or you haven't grinded your way through the battle pass, I guess you're shit out of luck. Instead of free loot boxes that may give you a cool skin, you now have to pay to receive any skin, and the cost is astronomical. You get no free handouts. You never got any free handouts because you were playing a buy-to-play game. It was never a free handout to begin with. And also, if you considered it a free-to-play game and you thought it was it's not the point, no, it is. Contrarian Andy? No, what's confusing about this? What's confusing? Then every game's pay to win? I didn't say that. I never said that it was pay to win. When did I ever say that the game was pay to win? I've never said that. By your logic, every piece of gear you have to buy to play the game is free to win, is pay to win. What I'm saying is that a person could have never played Overwatch 1 without investing money. Every single person playing Overwatch 1 paid money to do that. Every single person playing Overwatch 2 did not pay money to do that. And there are people that have played Overwatch 2 and have every character unlocked and haven't paid a cent. That's just the way it is. Oh, as people are brain-dead? I know. Anyway, let's finish it off. So now you have no skins, no new characters, and again, the game is not like League or Valorant where you're locked into a single character. Overwatch is fundamentally built around a swap mechanic. So switching from buy-to-play character with all characters given to you to free-to-play where now you have to endlessly grind or pay for a new character is absolutely sickening. It's not fair to compare League because they are different environments and have different backgrounds. Overwatch 2 took the freedom that players were given in Overwatch 1. That is the complaint. It's either pay money or fork over your time. If you don't pay money, you miss out on a new character and you're left behind. It's predatory for this specific game. You either have to pay money. So basically, let's go ahead and let's understand this. So this person is upset because you have to pay money or invest time to get a character. But Valorant, he says in his second paragraph, you have two ways to get a character. You have to buy it with real money or do something with in-game currency. So you have to grind it. So he's basically saying that Valorant and Overwatch 2 are the same thing. And he explains it right here. If you look at, I'm going to read out the two sentences. But Valorant doesn't have counter. So you're saying that because there are counters, you don't think that anybody like people don't counter pick at all in Valorant or League? Nobody counter picks in Valorant or League? You can't mid-game. Well, yeah, but if you go into the game, like for example, like if you go into the game and you know somebody picks this guy and you know that this other guy is better in this situation against this guy, you could pick that character if you had access to him, right? And that counter pick would be advantageous. That's pro play only? Okay. Valorant also has bans for characters. If that happens, you can dodge. Okay, well what about League? Are there no counter picks in League? Yes. Okay. So it's the same thing. Even if you don't counter pick, the ability to fill a team role is already an advantage. Yes, true. It's not the same at all. Okay, how's it different? How's it different? You can't mid-game. So you're set up to lose at the beginning rather than the middle. How does that make it better? I don't understand. Like I'm not understanding this. You pick counter at the beginning? Yeah, that's my point, right? And so like if you pick counter at the beginning, it's going to be advantageous for you to play a character that is better in a situation against another character. So you do have counter picking in League. People are saying it's different because you can't change champions during the game in League, but you can in Overwatch. Well, it's different, but the effect is the same. You're right, it is different. You're totally right. But it's still the same. The effect is still the same. It's not the same? How's it the same? How's it not? You can counter mid-game and strategize, so less character is a disadvantage. Yeah, I know, of course it is. That's why you can't queue ranked unless you have 20 characters. Showing how bad you are at Overwatch, do you don't understand the swap mechanic? Why would I care about, like, why would that matter? I've seen people one-trick in Overwatch constantly. XQC was pretty much like, didn't XQC almost always play Winston? A lot of people one-trick in Overwatch. What are we talking about? Not even about the characters. You can potentially ban new characters every time if you don't have it yet as a counter. So so in that logic, if Overwatch had bans, would it be okay would all this be okay? I don't understand that. Chat's dumb, because if you can't be countered, you can't swap more if you're at a disadvantage. It's not like only one character even is the only counter either. Well, yeah, sure. Everyone has different playstyles? Yeah, I think a lot of people one-trick in Overwatch. We're talking about a hypothetical. Yes, obviously some people play multiple characters, definitely. But I've played Overwatch a lot. And like I put over 100 hours into Overwatch, and there have been many games where people just play the same character. Like you ask them to switch, they won't switch, and they keep playing that character. Only 100? Well, I think it was probably, I feel like it was probably more, maybe it was like 200 or something like that. But like, do you think after 200 hours, I don't understand that some people don't swap? I mean, I think that's a really big sample size. Like 200, like imagine saying 200 hours in a game isn't enough to have a sample size. Come on. That's huge. That's more in bronze? Yeah, well, guess where most people are at? They're probably in bronze and silver. Or you gotta realize it's completely different. On top of that, the people who don't switch lose the match. I don't think that's always true. Sometimes people are very good at a character, and their comfortability with that character allows them to outplay the other team. Other times, swapping over and playing another character is better. There's like a sliding scale. That's what I do, is to remove being able to buy them in loot boxes. I'm willing to get my account banned to debate this. Guys, I'm not trying to... I don't want to duel people today. I'm going to read the posts that were made on my Reddit that were the most popular ones about this topic, and then we're going to move on. I'm not going to go through and duel you about like what you think your take is, and you're going to explain to me why I'm wrong. I don't want to do that. I wasted too much time on that yesterday. Anyway, so let's go back. I'm going to read this again. Overwatch 2 to free them, people are playing. Oh yeah, okay, all right. So why bother? I've read this on stream. Can we disregard your points? Well, I just like, can you see where this is confusing? That this person is criticizing to free to play where now you have to endlessly grind or pay for a new character is absolutely sickening, right? So you take this sentence right here, and then if you put this sentence up here, buying it with real money or buying it with in-game currency that you earn from grinding, how are these? These are literally this is the same thing. I don't understand this. They're two different games. Sure, you buy the game. How's that hard to understand? Well, you don't, because Overwatch 2 is free. So that's the difference, is that it was like, so is Valorant, so it's the same thing. People don't want to have to pay for new characters and rather pay once to get all the future characters, plus people like the loot boxes and the skins not for the characters. Listen, I understand that there are a lot of people who thought that the Overwatch 1 system was better. And I agree with you. I think that if you owned Overwatch 1, the odds are that your experience playing the game was better than Overwatch 2 in terms of cosmetics. I think that you're probably totally right, and getting new characters. I definitely think that's true. But I don't think that was healthy for the long-term health of the game. That was not good for the long-term health of the game. Like, you can't have a game that continuously gets updates over and over and over whenever the people that are playing it only bought it one time. Do you think that $40 or $60 to play Overwatch back in 2017 or 18 is going to fund development indefinitely until the end of time? I think that this game came out, and it was out for like, what the fuck, like 4 years. Are we kidding? Yeah, and they had loot boxes. Yes, and they had loot boxes. And so they changed the way the game was structured monetarily. And I understand that people don't like it. I'm not saying that you're wrong for not liking it. All I'm saying is that I do like it, and I think that it is an improvement in terms of being more ethical. I do think that it is more ethical. Absolutely. Categorically, any game that doesn't have loot boxes is automatically more ethical than a game that does. It's that simple. So whenever I say that Overwatch 2 is an improvement, that doesn't mean that you're wrong for liking Overwatch 1 more. That doesn't mean that you're wrong for liking the loot box system. In the same way that, like, I'm not really wrong or right for liking Overwatch 2 either. But objectively, you can't go and say that it's more ethical to have loot boxes. I don't think there's any way you can make that argument. And I don't think I can make an argument that it's better for somebody to have to pay like $40 if they want to get every single skin versus pay $40 once to get the game. But personally, I value a game that does not take advantage of people through gambling mechanisms more highly than skin acquisition. So it doesn't matter to me how expensive the skins are, because you know what you're buying. And that is more important to me than, let's say, the the price of the skins. I don't really care about skins. They don't really matter to me, etc. Now, I'm going to create a theoretical. If Overwatch 1 had loot boxes and you couldn't buy them, the only way that you could get these loot boxes was through playing the game. And there are a lot of you guys out there who probably only bought loot boxes, only played the game and got loot boxes for free. Just you played the game, you've got the loot boxes for free. And for you, going to Overwatch 2 is a massive downgrade. I understand that. And I think that you're totally justified in feeling that way. And there's nothing wrong with thinking that. But personally, this is how I see it. I see a game, and also, like, if that was the case, I would be totally on your side. I would completely agree with you. The problem is not the fact that there were loot boxes. It is the fact that you could buy them in Overwatch 1. That is what the issue was. Loot boxes were shipped. They were only cosmetic. Battle Pass is better system, but it's pay to win. It's not really pay to win because, well, it is and it's not, right? I mean, you have people that can, like, how long does it take to go through the free Battle Pass in Overwatch 2 to get a new character? How long does it take? Long as fuck? A few matches? Way too long. 20 hours. I'm level 32 after 2 days. 125 games if you do the challenges, 20 hours. 20 hours. Okay. It's not pay to win because the character is locked and you can't play it in competitive. Okay. The skins are not the issue. It's the competitive disadvantage you have if you don't buy heroes. Wait, so when is the character locked in Overwatch 2? Yeah, how does this make sense? Yeah, when is the character locked? It's for 2 weeks. Okay. After the battle pass ends, you can unlock champions in League and Valorant if you have Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, but that's effectively a battle pass too, right? I mean, like, you're then comparing apples to apples. You can say Game Pass is much better value, and I would agree with you, but you're still comparing apples to apples. It's just one apple's a lot bigger than the other one. Uso came back to the game. Cannot play Lively without spending IRL money. It means I have to spend the money. I can't get it for free. So what you're saying is right now in Overwatch 2, there is no way for you to get Lifeweaver without spending real money. Is that true? No? Well, then why did that person say that? I don't understand. So we're having a conversation about something and nobody even knows what's happening in the game. So we're going to read, again, I think that, again, this person goes on, they go and they explain basically how bad being able to, that, you know, the premise of this is that Valorant is better. The implication here is Valorant is better because there are two ways to get a character, buying it with real money or buying it with in-game currency that you earn from grinding. However, when Overwatch does the same exact thing, somehow this is absolutely sickening. I think this is a ridiculous comparison, and I don't know how you can write both of these sentences within 2 paragraphs of each other and not realize how completely contradictory they are. This is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense to me. And all this person is really doing is saying that Overwatch now has the same system that Valorant does. So there we go. I'm astonished that how many people upvoted this? 1,100 people upvoted this. This is sad. It is genuinely sad. Let's see here. Please make an edit. Politely read the post. Well, I read the post. Doesn't care. Just locks into his opinion so doesn't budge, even if he realizes he's wrong. No, I don't realize that I'm wrong. I think that there are people that are making arguments on a premise that's not true. I have people that are spamming in caps lock that they can't get a character in Overwatch 1 unless they spend money. And that's just a factually untrue statement. Most of the people that are shitting on this game haven't even played it. I haven't played it that much either. I've only played it for 200 hours. So I don't know exactly how the systems are in this game at this current moment. That's why I'm asking questions. I'm not making statements about it. I'm asking questions. And then after the question is answered and I understand it, then I make a statement based off of what that answer was. Because that's how to think. Saying you're open to any real discussion is validate all opinions factually correct. Well, I am open to discussion. We're doing it right now. I just don't think that people are providing good arguments. I don't know, like Paratu doesn't play League and only eats brews and Blizzard games. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I don't do, but I can understand them. You really telling me that a video game is hard to understand? You really tell me this is a game that like 12-year-olds play? You have to, what do I have to play this game 1,000 hours to understand it? Come on, give me a break. And also, if there's something I don't understand, I'm asking for people to explain it to me. That has not been possible. The Monitor says hear people out. Someone offers different and disbands them instead of agreeing to disagree. Nobody's getting banned here. Nobody's getting banned. The only people that are getting banned are the people that are being abusive or rude. If people are disagreeing and explaining what they think, nobody's banning them. Let's see here. Biggest salad Overwatch. Loot boxes are bad when it's the only option that you have to getting rewards. If you have the RNG chance of getting a skin from the loot box, but can clearly get that skin if you specifically want, playing and buying it from concurrency, then it's much better than a battle pass where you have to buy a battle pass for the skin or even a character. Well, that's not true, because the battle pass you can get free. You can get all of the characters for free. There are no battle passes that have... There are no paid battle passes that have exclusive characters. All characters are available for free without using the battle pass. Or sorry, without spending money. Now skins, that's something different. He's right with skins. I just don't think they matter. I don't hold a high value for those. How is this hard to understand? Bare bones point of the argument. You know what you want, but you pay. That's Overwatch 2. You know what you can get for free in Overwatch 1. Again, it's not free. You bought the game, but I understand what you're saying. How is hard to... And also, like, I think that this is kind of illuminating the way that so many people are referring to the content that they would get in Overwatch as for free. And I think this is illuminating as to why Blizzard had to change the system. Because it's not economically viable to continuously develop a game based off of a purchase made in 2018. It's just, you can't do that. No games really do that. Most games have some form of continuous gameplay payment if they're being continuously updated and are live service games. Like whether it's Valorant, League of Legends, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 they sell tons of skins. They sell skins like crazy in Guild Wars 2. Like there's all kinds of advantages and things you can buy in Guild Wars 2. What are we talking about? Why would you use that as an example? Like this is the problem, right? Is that people are talking about things that they don't understand. So it's just insane. So anyway, let's go back. Blizzard is paying you a skin. Bought will be mid. You know the skin that you bought will be mid. They never give 100% on the paid skin. They will half-ass them. What? I don't want to pay for skins or characters if they can be obtained for free. So let's go ahead and break down. This is 93 people have upvoted this comment. Loot boxes are bad whenever it's the only option to getting rewards. Okay, well then you can apply that to most pay-to-win games. Most pay-to-win games, there are other options for getting rewards besides using the loot box system. Some of them, you can buy them out of hard pity, which is effectively what you can do. Like, I would say hard pitying in a gacha game is fundamentally the same thing as having items and then having them turned into currency and then being able to buy something. These are basically the same thing. So especially in Blizzard, you know the skin. Also, so yeah, any pay-to-win game probably falls under this category. You don't have to buy the battle pass for the character. That's in the free battle pass. Again, this is just a factually true statement that you can get all characters in Overwatch 2 without spending any money. And if you are a consistent player in Overwatch 2, this will never affect you competitively because the character is locked from competitive for the first 2 weeks of its release. So it gives people plenty of time to grind up and get the character, and then use it in competitive if they're playing consistently. So this is a factual statement. Like if somebody's going to tell me I'm wrong, provide me with the link. I want to see it. So let's see here. You're actively dismissing the skins issue as well. You may not care about skins, but others do, and that's one of the main issues with the Switch as well. So you're saying that, like, because I don't hold high value of skins, then whenever people are talking about why skins are important to them, I completely discredit them. I think that you're probably right about that, and yeah, people probably care more about skins than I do. That's probably true. Definitely. And I can understand, and again, I don't want to tell them that their feelings are wrong, and I think that they're totally justified to say that Overwatch 1 was a better experience for them. I think that it's completely fair for a person to say, I have a good experience playing this game, and I wish that it was the way that it used to be. It's okay to say that and still acknowledge that the new system is more ethical and it's better for gaming in general, which I think it is. Like, there's no, like, yeah, I don't understand how this is so confusing. Like, you're not wrong for thinking that, for liking Overwatch 1 more. No one gives a fuck about ethics? Well, of course they do. That's why people use ethics constantly whenever they're complaining about video games. People care a lot about it. And also, if you don't care about it, then that's fine. So if you don't care about it, then why are people so upset that I care about it? Because if it doesn't matter to you genuinely, then why are you fighting so hard to change my opinion? It would be more ethical if they gave us PvE like they promised. True. Yeah, we wouldn't even be having this conversation if they were bringing out PvE. Very, very good point. Your take is tone deaf on the issue? Sure. Yeah, I don't think that skins matter, and I think it's more important to remove loot boxes. That's correct. Yes. And if it was up to me, I want to add something. If it was up to me, no video game would be legally allowed to create a premium currency. Every single thing in the shop would be required by law to be displayed in only the currency of that local country. So whether that's USD, euros, pesos, I don't know what Canada uses, probably like Monopoly money or something. New Zealand, Kiwis, right? Whatever they use for money. I have no idea. But the point is syrup, yeah. And so I think that should be a legal requirement, because I think that any time that you're changing the prices in this way, I think that it is actively deceptive to the audience, and it is manipulative and harmful. So yeah, that's one thing. Second thing is that I would say that in any video game, I don't think that you should ever be able to make a purchase without full understanding of what you're going to get out of that purchase. And you should never be able to buy something in a video game that does not have a deterministic outcome. So, for example, you would not be able to buy a loot box. You would not be able to buy a ticket to open a box. You would not be, and assuming that that box had something that was random in it. And the only things that you would be able to purchase, yeah, with real money, you can do whatever you want with game money. That's totally fine. But you don't want to have a connection to where people can use real money to simulate a gambling addiction inside of a video game, especially whenever many of these video games are marketed towards children and people who are underage. This is just simply something that's not healthy and not good for anybody except for the companies that are doing them. I understand that a lot of people like going to casinos. I understand that people don't mind loot boxes. I'm not going to freak out about it. I play plenty of games with loot boxes. I play them all the time. Oh, that's me. Sorry. I'm not going to go off on some big tangent about how I'm above this. All I'm saying is that if it was up to me, this is what the rules would be. So I want to make sure that's extremely clear. And those two things, like in terms of like a tier list, simulating gambling addiction is like an S tier problem with video games, and skin acquisition is like a C tier problem. So it's not like you don't have a problem. I understand that it's a problem, but I think that the gambling mechanics supersede that. And so it doesn't matter to me if the skins are more annoying to farm, because I think that it is for, I hate using this term, it's for the greater good. So that's what I think. So I'll read a few more comments and I want to go to the next post. People made like 4 or 5 posts. Chat sucks explaining things. As the idea fair regarding game transactions, little skewed since he's rich, so it's irrelevant to him. It may as well be free. It's entirely different for people who are too poor to spend money on games like that. It's incredible that 72 people upvoted this. I understand there's a lot of class resentment in America, and I don't blame you guys. But this is such a stupid comment that it's actually sad. So, why would my opinion of fair matter whenever I'm not buying them? I never bought a battle pass in Overwatch. I never even opened it. I don't even know what level I am in the battle pass in, what do you call it? That other game, Diablo 4. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't care. Like Kirak's Vault Pass in Path of Exile. I don't even know what that is. I don't care. There's a battle pass. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not spending money on this anyway. Also, wouldn't it make more sense that I would actually like that they had gambling mechanics because I had money and I would never be able to run out of money on the gambling mechanics? Logically, I think that most of the people that complain about gamba mechanics and loot boxes are people that don't have the money to afford them. I think that's what happens most of the time because they're the ones that can't guarantee they're going to get an E6 Kafka. They're the ones that can't guarantee they're going to be able to get, I don't know, like whatever the new character in Genshin Impact or Diablo Immortal is or something like that. So it's ironic that people say this whenever I effectively play a lot of games with battle passes as if the battle pass doesn't even exist. So how is it something that I now don't have to worry about because I'm rich whenever I'm not engaging with it to begin with? It doesn't even make any sense. You purchased it? Yeah, I just clicked the button. Yeah, I mean, I bought the game, and so I bought the early access package, so I might as well purchase the battle pass. Have you ever seen me use a skin from the battle pass? Have you ever even seen me redeem a reward from the battle pass and use it? Other than like the cinders that were from the free battle pass anyway, just so I could get more gear? No, because I don't use it. I don't care. Now, if something looked cool, then yeah, of course I would want to use it. So let's see here. One more. I don't understand why he insists on making comparisons he doesn't get play or doesn't know well enough. Those both have microtransaction equals same game. Too scared of being wrong about Overwatch 2, so he's just gonna doable down and delete the thread. I don't even think he's scared about being wrong. He's just assumed people cherry picks people in chat who support his argument. I don't know why people always use this, say stuff like that. I cherry pick people who agree with me. Whenever I'm literally, I will get down in the trenches and argue with people all the time. I do it constantly. So how am I cherry picking if I'm sitting here, I've talked about this for a half hour, and I'm reading the top voted posts on the top voted post? Where am I cherry picking? It just doesn't even make sense. But then whenever you argue, they say you cherry pick idiots. Yeah, I guess that's why I picked them. So this is the first post. My take on Asmon's Overwatch 2 take. So here's another one. I think there's like 3 or 4 of these. So this person created a graph. Overwatch's unethical loot boxes not required to experience the full game experience and monetization. Okay, so okay, it's true though. No, it's not. You can buy the you can get the characters from playing the game. To say that they are from, and then this is required to experience the full game. The characters that are required, the battle pass that is monetized is not required. So this is just a factually untrue statement again. Skins are required. Emotes are required. Get the fuck out of here. This is ridiculous. I can't believe that I'm reading this. And look at this. It has 280 updates. 95% of people that saw this updated it. This is sad. People can't even read a fucking graph. This is what I've been saying, that you need statistics in high school. These people are trying to learn algebra. They need to learn how to read a fucking circle. What is this? And also, game experience and monetization color the entire fucking thing red because it's a buy-to-play game. You can't access any of this shit unless you spend money, whereas this, you actually can access it if you don't spend money. And you're right, this color here should be both spending money and also not, because there are two ways to access it. Also the same as the other games. Holy shit, this is sad. And the PvE shouldn't even be on here. That's not even monetization, bro. Like, well, actually, no, you're right. Yeah, I mean, this is true. The bigger picture, people just don't like that their game is now free to play. Yeah, I understand that. I definitely understand that. Sure. Me smart, me want Venn diagram. Well, it's just like, is anybody even going to point this out? Just so Asmund can say he's right and you're wrong. Well, yeah, that's right, because your graph is inaccurate. The characters are not required. They're not part of the monetization. That's it. It's not true. Dude, I can explain it to you. Make another graph. Go ahead. Context matters in this case. Loot boxes were inherently bad if you have to pay for them. That wasn't the case in Overwatch 1. They were handed out like candy for free, and that was completely fine. Now you get nothing for free. Well, you do. You get the game for free. So, like, for example, like if somebody who's never played Overwatch before, they can play the game for free because the game's free, because it went free to play. And the free to play F2P, the free part is the fact that the game is free. And so the game actually, now you can say the game is nothing. I would kind of agree with you on this, but you do get this for free. Also, if they were handed out like candy and that was completely fine, if that was true, then why are they on the store? Do you think Blizzard didn't make any money from the loot boxes in Overwatch? Does that make any sense? They did a lot. Of course people bought loot boxes in Overwatch. If they didn't, they wouldn't put them on the store. Let's see here. If he actually said any other company did this, be viewed more positively. It's just absurd. Shows he's in his own bubble. Halo Infinite, perfect example of a company that ruined the integrity of their game to try to maximize profits off of whales slamming money to boost the battle pass and base skins. Yeah, I think you can say that I'm a little bit wrong with that. I think that's fair. But I do think that, like, again, I think also if you look at 343 Studios, they've amassed a huge amount of negative community debt as well. They failed now 3 times with Halo. They failed with Halo 4, they failed with Halo 5, and they failed with Halo Infinite. So I think this is actually a pretty one-to-one comparison, because you have another time that a company that has a very negative reputation for failing their customers multiple times. I don't know why Microsoft hasn't kicked them to the curb. They should. Like you don't fuck up a game 3 times. Like Bungie made Halo 2 in like a few years. It's astonishing that this is even a question. 4 times, yeah, Master Chief Collection 2 was bad. So 343 has failed since the very beginning. Yeah, I can't. How is that studio still in business? It's incredible. Anyway, but yeah, I think 343 is a great example because 343 is in the same position Blizzard is in. I actually think 343 is a good refutation of that argument that any other company couldn't do it or wouldn't have this happen, because I think 343 did have it happen as well. You're right about that. I didn't think of that. But 343 also has the same type of reputation and relationship with its community that Blizzard does. Let's read the next one. No, negative argument's invalid because he's right. Yes, that's right, because the graph is wrong. How the fuck is the Overwatch Battle Pass ethical? Overwatch 2's Battle Pass is made to force you to buy it so you can get skins or cosmetics. And this is why I don't take a lot of the feedback seriously. This is why I don't take what people say seriously. It's why I don't get angry about, like, I'm not upset. This is like explaining, so like, I don't get upset at a 5-year-old for, you know, pooping on the floor, right? Actually, you probably would at that point, like a 2-year-old for pooping on the floor, because it's just what they do, right? You're being forced to buy a battle pass. This is incredible. What company lets you get a free, full, high-grade cosmetics through a battle pass that's free? None, because they make you pay to get them. What about them making money? Any company can give out free skins and characters and just make you pay for the alt skin colors and variants. Any company can give out free skins and characters and just make you pay for the alt what? You can still get a skin or character off the bat for free, but any reskins should be able so they can still make money. Outside of skins, base default characters in League, you can buy different shaded colors of that character. You get the character for free, but if you want base color change, you have to buy. Isn't that how Overwatch 2 works? I think it is, right? Yeah, it is. And this is the kind of stuff that's crazy, is that you have these people who they don't even, have these people even played Overwatch 2 at all? Did they ever play Overwatch 1? It's not even, it's such an insane fucking thing to say. Oops. Price tag $40 and $115 each PvE mission. We have yet to see what happens to pricing once another mission bundle is introduced. Yeah, I wonder what that's going to be. Drew a hard line in the sand whenever it comes to loot boxes. He won't even look at how fair of monetization it was in Overwatch 1. He just thinks loot boxes equals the bane of all evil and anything else is better than it, no matter how dog shit it is for the players. Yes, that's correct. That's right. That's my stance. Yes. That is the line in the sand. It is unethical to have them in any capacity, and anything different than that is better. Yes. Exactly, that's why you're wrong. No, I'm not. Gamblers malding. Bro, these people are stupid. League, you can buy champions with money or grind like in Overwatch 2. Yeah, but it's different because you can change champions in the middle of the game. And so you get counterpicked for the whole game instead of half the game. And so it's actually better because you get counterpicked for a longer period of time. I just... What do you even say, right? The thing is, as predatory as a battle pass, but he doesn't see it. He thinks battle pass is okay because other games do it. It's so weird that Asmon doesn't separate earning the loot boxes versus paying for them. That's because Blizzard doesn't separate them. If you earned a loot box and you paid for a loot box, you have 2 loot boxes. And Overwatch 1 doesn't limit how many you can get just by playing the game. The current battle pass is more predatory than what it was. It's astonishing to me that people think that a battle pass is predatory. It is? No, it's not. No, it's actually not. It's not predatory in any way. Define predatory? So predatory, I think that, didn't I write like a really long post about this? Yes, I did. So let's refer back to my post that I said. Because we had this conversation 9 months ago and people were mad about it. And I responded. And let's read what I had to say. High pricing of products is not predatory unless they are essential. Just because you disagree with the price does not mean that it is predatory. If it did, that would imply that all luxury brands are predatory because their price is not proportional, which is again a subjective judgment to their value. This could actually be applied to literally anything you disagree with the price on, making the label of predatory meaningless because it could be applied in any circumstance where a consumer disagrees with pricing. Again, you can make this argument, but in doing so, you effectively paint with such a broad brush that the term predatory becomes applicable to anything and thus making it useless. This is not to say that there is not predatory pricing. I think that, for example, raising prices on something like rent or necessary medication to a disproportionate degree is predatory. The difference between insulin and a Kiriko skin is that you don't need to buy a Kiriko skin, thus making the choice optional and not predatory, regardless of price. Another example of pricing being predatory is whenever you purchase one thing and you receive something else. Imagine if you bought a skin that was green, but in-game it was blue, or something similar to that. With the Kiriko bundle, you know exactly what you're getting, making the sale not predatory in that aspect either. Second, limited availability of products is also not predatory, even if it is artificial. If you use the logic that any use of FOMO is fundamentally predatory, you would have to apply that to trading cards, cars, and any form of collector's items such as Elden Ring Collector's Edition helmet, seasonal offerings, pumpkin spice lattes at Starbucks, McRibs, holidays, Reese's peanut butter cups, concert t-shirts, and any limited edition product, Happy Meal toys. You get the idea. I do not agree with this, and I think that it sets a precedent that effectively invalidates the word predatory, making it applicable to so many things to the point where it is rendered meaningless. So that's what I mean by predatory. I wrote it down. I like writing. It helps me organize my thoughts better. Loot boxes are an option, but it preys on addictive behavior. Exactly. You say you don't like it. You say people don't like it because it's Blizzard, but if any company radically changed the rewards for the worst, most people wouldn't like it. It has nothing to do with Blizzard and all to do with the radical changes for the worst to Overwatch 1 players. They never had to get rid of free loot boxes earned for ethical reasons. I agree with you. I don't think that they should have gotten rid of loot boxes either. Yeah, I agree. I think that they should make them give better rewards. I think that's true. We're gonna move on to other games that matter. Yeah, we will. I'm almost done. Did he even play Overwatch 1? Yes. Asmongold is actually delusional. Can't believe he thinks people buys more champions in League than skins. Actually, yeah, I'll have to rephrase my statement on this. I actually do think that skins do make more money collectively. I would probably assume that, like, on a one-to-one level, one skin versus one champion, the champion probably sells more. But as a collective, yeah, I do think skins do sell more than champions, probably, yeah. Sure, I probably was wrong on that. It's not even close. Who buys a champion? You guys don't think even champions buy more? Champions don't ever sell? Really? Not even close. You get champions for free. Skins make more money and champions make next to none because of the way the currency works. Sure. I mean, again, that's like a minor point. I'm not going to... Like, I don't really care about that argument. And, like, if people think I'm wrong about that, I don't really care. So I'll just say, okay, sure, I'm wrong about that. It's not a big deal. It's like, it's kind of irrelevant, but sure. Now, if somebody has like a, like I'm not, like, people are just saying this, right? I'm just, I actually just don't really give a shit. Let's see here. Yeah, it's like completely beside the point. Classic, I don't care. Well, it's. I mean, the issue is about, like, the ethical nature of the game, right? It's not really about, like, whether, like, what sells more, like skins or like or champions. I don't really think that's the, like, there's like what does that have to do with anything? It's completely irrelevant. Let's see here. We'll see if there's one more. Overwatch removed the community artwork section. That's probably smart. Blizzard devs looking at the Steam reviews. Stop, he's dead already. Well, here's the thing. Is that I think that this... Is this it? Community overacting or deserved? What is this here? Overacting or deserved? You know what I really think? Is the Overwatch community overreacting or is it deserved? I think the answer is both. I think that people are overreacting in terms of the monetization structure, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. But I think that so here are the, like, Overwatch 2 isn't even going to have PvE content. So, like, why are we even talking about the monetization if why the fuck would you want to buy something or buy a new character in the game to begin with? Really? Like, why are we even talking about this? Like, who gives a fuck? Because you're just going to play the same maps with the same shit, doing the same probably, like, boring, played-out metas that's going to happen. Like, maybe they're interesting for a while, and then they get boring, just like Overwatch 1 and every other Blizzard game. Because the people that balance their games are, I think that they are, goats. Not goats, the Overwatch team, but, like, literal goats. And I think that that's the problem, is that you have a lot of goats that are sitting in a tree, and they're just chilling. And they're like, get off the tree, try to fix the game, and they don't want to get off the tree. And that's just how it is. And so, yeah, I think that their balance team is completely incompetent. So, yeah, I think that a lot of people... And also, I think that a lot of these are protest reviews against Blizzard as a whole. And is this an overreaction or not? Like, yes and no. Because most people are giving protest reviews to Blizzard because they haven't been served properly as a consumer. They played Blizzard games for a while, and the games didn't serve the purpose that those people wanted it to. And guess what happened? They don't want to play those games anymore. So, is this true that it's a direct outcome of Overwatch 2? No, it's not in a lot of cases. But Overwatch 2 is just simply one example of it happening. So, again, like, I think that a lot of the reviews for Overwatch 2 are what I call protest reviews. Reviews that are being made and done just to shit on something because they don't like it. Many of these people might not have even really played the game a whole lot. But it doesn't matter. Because I think people rated a 10 that haven't played it a lot either. Blizzard has earned that level of resentment. Review bombing, yes. Let's see here. Well, fucking deserved. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, again, it's like Blizzard just... And again, I can understand for the way that Overwatch 1 players feel. That we had a system, like, I bought this game. We had a system that was better in my mind. And now you've made the system worse. And I'm not happy about it. I think that's completely fair. Yeah, I totally get that. Like, I'm not saying that that's like... I don't think it's healthy to just, like, keep those players on life support while, like, your community gets smaller and smaller. I don't think that's a good idea. But I can definitely understand the way that they feel. So, really, I mean, like, yeah, I'm not surprised that it's rated so badly. And I think people just don't... Like, how many people are playing Overwatch? Let's actually look and see. Oh, I'm looking all-time peak. $75,000 people played it yesterday, and it's back up to about 50,000. We'll see how things trend maybe in like a week or so. That's a lot of people. That's not counting Battle.net. No, that doesn't count Battle.net, and it also doesn't... I don't think it probably counts console players either. There's way more people playing Overwatch. How much money does League of Legends make in skins? Sure. Yeah, I actually don't really care about this, and it's just totally irrelevant to me. Like, whether it's skins or not, like, I don't care if it's skins or champions. It's like, that was just, like, again, a throwaway thing. No shit, it's skins? Well, that's fine. Like, I'm fine saying I'm totally wrong about that, and I don't even want to argue about it. Okay. Totally fine. Because it's like, it's really not something that I really care about, if that makes sense. So, we'll go ahead and we'll look at two more. How convincing Asmon looks like. Yes, that actually makes a lot of sense, because most of the people that are trying to do that are cavemen. Even though this is obviously Sisyphus, but you get the point. Let's see here. Asmon is going to have to take the L on the Overwatch versus Lootbox video. I find this to be a very concerning line of thought. That I now have to agree with the majority of people because the majority of people think that I'm wrong. This is a very worrisome mindset. And I actually think that it's extremely harmful that so many people subscribe to it. There's actually no reason why I have to agree with anybody if I don't agree with what they're saying. Every single person can think that I'm wrong, and that doesn't make me wrong. Truth is not a democracy. And if I believe something, you don't just get to discount that and discredit that by democracy. That's not how it works. It's very sad. Mob mentality is becoming very normalized. It's sad. Well, not here, it's not. Everybody disagrees with me, and everybody's wrong. That's what I think. And I'll explain it, and I will fight it every single fucking time. Just like I did 9 months ago whenever I wrote a fucking essay on Reddit, and then the person came back and they explained themselves and they were an absolute belligerent fucking idiot because nothing they said made any sense at all. Because these people, as soon as you actually ask them, what are you really thinking? They don't even know. All they know is that they don't like the game.